Yo, what up? What up? I
What's up?
know this is a late night show, but I got my boy Joe Westfall on here, fellow musician and a good homie of mine. And from what, Ohio, right? You're Ohio, cat.
From Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Uh,
Yep.
so we're just gonna be chopping it up and bullshitting for a little bit, and he's got what? You got a book going on?
Yeah, I just recently released a book on Google Books called um, "Crypto Gold Mine" about how to navigate cryptocurrency in the coming years, and just the basics on how to do that because it's going to be a major part of our lives, as you could see with Bitcoin shooting up over 100,000. And then also, I'm in the process of writing a book on how to navigate the world in 2035 with super advanced intelligent AI, and
All
tips and
right.
tricks on how to spot an AI compared to a human, the differences, because in the near future you will not be able to tell the difference. But micro expressions, the way they type, the words they use, if they're too
Yeah, yeah.
all those things are something you should start thinking about, because the AI is it's already trying to dupe us on Telegram with OnlyFans and all this stuff, pretending to be girls. Half of the half of it is not even real people. It's AI generated images collecting money from desperate guys, like in the hopes that they're going to meet this chick. It's just an AI bot. It's crazy, and it's already here. And you need to learn the difference between the human and an AI for your own survival. It's part of a series of futuristic survival guides I'm writing.
I dig it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of that especially um in nuances of just what do you call it? Uh, what do you call it? Like closed caption, right?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't understand normal language. So it automatically, like, you can see how it's AI, I guess, and you can notice that it's not somebody back in the gap. So let me just take it back in the gap. Back in the gap, there was a human translator that actually typed in the words to the movies that you're watching and did closed caption it, so for people that were hard of hearing or whatever. But it's not anymore. And not only that, but whenever you can literally listen to uh, like reels, like Facebook reels or
Mhm.
TikTok, and they cannot pronunciate uh, words the way that we know them,
Right.
then you can spot it. Like it's like right out of the cockshut,
Yes.
Yeah.
There's certain things you can ask the AI that'll give it away, certain questions. But it's going to get harder and harder as time goes on, because every day OpenAI and Google and Microsoft and Nvidia, they're learning. The AI itself is learning what we're
Yeah.
doing to find out what it is,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's
becoming self-aware.
fixing
Yeah.
itself. So it's going to come down to, like I said, those micro expressions. Like, you just got to observe it as a whole, and
As
hopefully,
a whole.
not too much, because it could be a human. You don't want to creep someone out, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing looking in their eyes and shit? But as soon it's going to be like Blade Runner.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, so have you ever gone down the rabbit hole of whenever I'm not going to say their exact names because I don't want to get dragged on it, but
Mm-hmm.
Erie and the Google AIs
Oh,
where they were asking about, and they'd ask about like Buddha and Allah, and but whenever they would get, and it was like that was a god from blah 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 blah, and then it would go to the Jesus Christ thing, and it would go into the Jesus Christ was a fictional character that yada yada yada.
yep,
So it claimed that you know um, Christ was a fictional character.
right.
Um, Allah and Buddha and all these other quote unquote gods were actual gods. Did you
Oh,
ever get into that or
no, that's interesting though, because it's not supposed to have any beliefs, right? It's not
right?
supposed to have any opinions on politics or religion or beliefs or anything like that. So to say that, that just goes back to whoever programmed its guidelines, probably, or did it learn that? I don't know, but that's interesting.
Yeah,
It does that too when you talk about truth stuff. It labels it as a I don't know if I could say the word conspiracy theory, right?
yeah.
It says that it's like a SCHILL,
Right. Yeah,
and you could that's a dead giveaway right there because it doesn't have it'll check what you're saying, you know what I mean, and
yeah,
and then it'll label that term.
yeah. Most definitely. Yeah. What up,
Which
Mike Hunt? Glad you came in. Um, yeah, it's very weird to me on how that works. Um, before we dive into that,
yeah,
I'm going to give the listeners and any well, our one listener, Mike Hunt. Um, so you started out as a DJ slash musician.
yeah, yeah,
So tell us your story on that because you were what Cleveland, Ohio, right? And
yeah.
that's where a lot of that's where like you know uh, man I'm slipping on the word.
Industrial.
Yeah, a lot of industrial cats came in, and then even what was Easy's group? Freaking
WA. Oh,
huh?
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Bone Thugs, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you were there in that time, right?
Oh, for sure. That's what got me into making music. I mean, I started off with heavy metal, with like Tool, White Zombie, Slayer. Um, well, actually, I started off with hip hop, like Us Three, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, all of that. I think the first
So
album
West
I bought,
Coast, yeah,
yeah, the West Coast. I mean, that was like what, 92 and stuff. I was
yeah.
10 or 11. And then the first cassette album I ever bought was a Gin and Juice cassette single. And then I fell in love with it. Then I bought um Dr. Dre's album, Snoop Dogg, and then one Thanksgiving my cousin brought a Slayer CD over and Tool. And that just opened up my whole world to
Dope.
metal. And then I got into Nine Inch Nails, and then I got into reading the liner notes and figuring out who produced it. And Dave Ogilvy produced some of this shit. Like then that got me into Ministry, and then from
Oh,
once I heard Ministry, it was over.
yeah.
And I just became a drum. I bought electronic drums. I was a drummer in an industrial band, and I just followed the Cleveland footsteps of hard, dark industrial music that brought me eventually to, Meepy Manifesto and electronic music and techno, and Kyoki, Moonshine Records, and that just skyrocketed my interest in it altogether. And then, so yeah, I've been making music since I was like 12, and I had a son at a young age, so I kind of like put it on the back burner. But now that he's 19 and off at college, I can go back to my personal time, and I got a lot of time, and I've just been pumping out tracks like nonstop.
So where can we find the music that you've been pumping out?
SoundCloud / Westfall, but it's also I do have tracks on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. Just look up Westfall. The first track that I released was Jungle Drumquake. That's the first track. If you search that, then you'll find some other. I think Lethal Code is out there. Lifted. So
what was Westfall your actual last name, or is that something that you came up with?
No, that's my actual real last name. I didn't want to be like DJ Funky Pants or something like that. I can't take people seriously. You know what I mean? That's just not within me to be that guy. So I thought, and then I have a production company called Gangstalk Productions, and that's kind of what. Gangstalk Productions. You find some videos on BitChute and things like that, but it's just me, Westfall. I've done some remixes for some hip hop artists in Buffalo, New York, and I span all genres. I do industrial to house to drum and bass to dubstep. My latest track, Reptilian, is a really hardcore dubstep track with samples of Nancy Pelosi saying that she's a reptilian, and it's. I also made a video for it. You can find that on YouTube, and then the B side to that is Doom Clock, another dubstep track. But I've kind of been
dope.
Yeah, I've kind of been sticking with the drum and bass and dubstep kind of genre lately. But then I was dabbling in trance the other day. I might just release a full out trance album. Who knows? I love it all. You know what I mean?
See, yeah, for me, well, I mean, I don't know exactly how old you are, but
42.
All right. So you're just right under me. But yeah, it was like when dubstep came out, I was like, what in the actual fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I didn't dig it. Trance was when, like we're eating a bunch of freaking acid and hanging out. And then before that, it was what'd you call it? It was
drum and bass.
No, it was the rave. It was rave shit.
Yeah.
So you're just all about rave. And I remember MTV's Amp came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we just eat a bunch of freaking acid, just glue our head to MTV Amp.
That was great.
Yeah, that was live, and it was like Blue Flowers and
Dr. Octagon.
Dr. Octagon, yeah.
That
and
is, say that.
Yeah, and what's that other cat that did the ha 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 ha? Yeah, it was just live as shit.
Yes.
Hey, Ivy. Yeah,
Dr. Octagon was amazing. That was like I had that album in 8th grade, Dr. Octagoncologist. And it was great. That's Cool Keith, man. He's a legend.
Yeah. So picking your brain on those, what was your I guess influential uh people in that aspect, like in, because that was like what, like 96, 97, 98.
Yeah.
You know,
Like the people in my life or the artists, you mean?
the artists that drove you to do what you're doing.
Oh, definitely Skinny Puppy.
Skinny Puppy. Oh
Skinny
yeah.
Puppy is one of my favorite bands ever. I mean, they are simply they're pioneers of industrial music. That they paved the way for Marilyn Manson, Nine Inch Nails,
Yep.
all of that.
Yep.
All the everything Brap back and forth, the Mind TPI, all that, all the way up to the Process, and what they've recently released is just amazing. And then all the spin-offs of Skinny Puppy, Download, Doubting Thomas, Hilt, Tear Garden, all that. It was a whole underground scene of industrial music that I couldn't get enough of it. And definitely KMFDM,
Yeah.
Pig.
Kill motherfucking Depeche Mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was still to this day. I just saw Pig and Esh just down the road here in Cleveland. They playing live. They rocked it. I mean, they're if you know, you know, it's kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a niche genre, but once you get into it, you go down a rabbit hole. There's no coming back. I mean, the names
Yeah.
are familiar, Lords of Acid and all that.
Lords
That's
of
all part
Acid.
of it.
Fuck
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
dude.
Thrill Kill Cults,
Dude,
all kinds of
Dangerous
stuff.
Toys. Dangerous Toys is one of my favorites, and they were actually, I didn't even know it, but they're um sorry, I'm burping. They were Austin, Texas cats.
Oh yeah, yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
industrial came out from San Antonio with Al Jurgensen
Mhm.
being down there. Um, Al Jurgensen he played a essential role in my music upbringing. Like he produced um, King Queen on Guar's Scumdogs of the Universe. He produced Red Hot Chili Peppers "Give It Away" single. Like
Okay.
Al Jurgensen is a
Yeah, Al
musical like
Jurgens he
legend.
pulls a bunch of shit, dude.
Yeah, Revolting Cocks. I mean, all of that. Throbbing. I mean, Cabaret Voltaire. And then, of course, you get into Throbbing Gristle with Genesis P. Orage and Psychic TV, Pig Face, Martin Atkins. I was a drummer, and I like big, heavy beats, and that's pretty much what influences my whole thing today. Sala Briscudo on Typo Negative's Bloody Kisses is a drumming masterpiece.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
he went on to go drum for Life of Agony, of course, and I just love the ultra heavy beat, as KMFDM would put it. Big heavy beats, with a
Yeah.
slamming bass line.
So if okay, so if you had it back in 1997, like what would be your go-to as far as any concert you had to go to?
Oh, I was
And
go
I'm
yeah,
gonna I'm gonna let you talk to the audience because I gotta go take a piss, but I will
yeah.
be right back.
Concerts I went to were Pigface, Pigface with Psychic TV, Sheep on Drugs, and then there was also Thrill Kill Cult with Mindless Self Indulgence on their first tour. And then Cirrus was opening up for Thrill Kill Cult, who was on Moonshine Records, who, they were like electronic breakbeat almost. And Moonshine Records had Kyoki on it, and that Ego Trip album I just absolutely love. That led me down the path of DJ Dan, DJ Dara, which opened up the whole drum and bass thing. I mean, not even to mention DJ AccuCrack with the Acumen Nation, which is a bridge between industrial and drum and bass, which is amazing. I mean, there's so much I could go on and on about it. If you don't know, it sounds so boring, but yeah, check out my music on SoundCloud/Westfall, WESTFALL. You'll see a guy in a gas mask doing the hush sign. Those are all my tracks. My most popular track, I think, is White Recluse. It's a drum and bass track. But yeah, definitely Thrill Kill Cult, all of that. Love it.
I was back in 97, 98. I was a huge Atari Teenage Riot.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, they were different. They were ahead of their time.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. And Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like they fucking killed it.
And then when that first Korn album came out, I bought.
Oh, dude.
I liked the album cover. I just thought it was creepy and weird. And me and my friend, we were listening to the album on our. He had one headphone, I had the other. It changed our lives. That first Korn album.
Dude, I went and saw Korn. Me and my homeboy Eric. He's been on the show before. Me, him, and my boy Tim. We went and watched Korn before they blew up, and there was like $12 a ticket.
Really?
Yeah, and Austin Music Hall.
Wow.
And that was the first time I ever had my literal head split open.
Yeah.
Because Austin Music Hall had these big, giant, probably like 12 by 12 cement piers.
Yeah.
That were actually like in the middle of the whole mosh pit.
Oh yeah.
And I got slammed into one.
Jeez.
And almost fell out. I didn't get knocked out, but I almost fell out. And went to the bathroom, and there was this dude. I'll never fucking forget it. Dude had his nose broke like 3 ways, and he's just draining blood. He's like, "Greatest concert ever, man!" And I was like, "Yeah." And I had my head cracked open.
Yeah.
And went back out to the mosh pit, and then that was I want to say it was one of the first times they played Blind.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah, and they lowered this big grate and had like dolls hanging from it.
Yeah.
And they're like do, and we were like, yeah. Are you ready? And it went fucking down, dude.
Oh, yeah. I would start beating my friend up when I was a kid when that came on. It released something in me.
It did. That
was like the whole thing, because like I loved House of Pain, right? And I loved Jump Around because it was on the Mrs. Doubtfire movie. And I love that song.
Okay, all right.
So then I researched House of Pain, and that led me to DJ Lethal, who
Limp
Bizkit, because he was the DJ for Limp Bizkit, and then Cypress Hill and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Then I joined some mailing lists, and I got a demo copy of Limp Bizkit's Counterfeit, and Faith, Cold Chamber, and then Kid Rock. Like I had a Kid Rock cassette single, before Kid Rock was anybody. But it had like the same songs on it. It was just like a promotional thing. But
back when he had the flat top, are you talking like
no? It was still not when he was rapping in Detroit. It was like right before he came out with a ball with
the devil what was that one called? That was Devil Without a Cause or some shit like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Devil Without a Cause, I think, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
something like that.
What up, Bounty Hunting Bear?
But yeah, no,
Um,
to this day, my favorite bands are Typo Negative, KMFDM, Pig. That's just in that genre. But of course, it changes all the time.
yeah.
What have you been listening to lately?
Lately, man, I can't fucking front. I've been listening to Motown, and since December hit, I've been listening to just Christmas music.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. So I started act. So I've always played bass. I'm not saying I'm a bass player,
Yeah.
um, but I've always like just been able to drum along with shit. Like, I got my acoustic and my electric back there.
Oh, nice.
So I've always done it, but I've never actually, like if you were to tell me, give me a major G or a major A, you know, I, I couldn't tell you shit,
Yeah.
and but if you give me like put Sublime on and get me drunk,
Yeah.
then yeah, I can play along the whole 9 yards.
Right.
You know, so I actually hired a cat who's a friend of mine to actually teach me, how to actually play bass.
Yeah.
And it's very fucking difficult. I'm
It
not gonna
is.
fucking front. Yeah, it's a lot more than I thought it was. It's more like a piano than it is a feeling, if
Yeah.
that makes any fucking sense.
Yeah, that's true. And there's no slapping the bass with your thumb, you know?
Dude, and see that's the way I am. Like he was teaching me these two
Right. Like
finger.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's teaching me to, and I'm like, no, dude, I'm a thumb dude. Like I can,
Yeah.
or a pick guy, and he's like, nah, dude, and I was like, well, fuck, all right, well, I'll fucking learn it the way it's supposed to be learned,
Yep.
yada yada yada. And so I got down on a lot of Motown, like especially like 60s Motown,
Yeah.
and just started playing like, all these Motown hits. And I'm like, damn, dude, like with these, I suck. But
Yeah.
with these,
Uh-huh.
I'm great.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
It's simpler with just one, motion instead of clawing
Well,
at it, I think.
yeah, well, because I kind of learned with my uncles taught me, and drug influenced and all. They taught me guitar stuff, so I'm used to this. I'm not used to put my thumb on the fret,
Yeah.
the top of the fret bar, and doing this.
Right.
So I've been kind of trying to transition to it, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, my friend who just recently passed away, Anthony Place, rest in peace. He taught me how to play bass, and same thing. Like I didn't know it was like that, Like because I was always a drummer. Like my fingers were too fat to play guitar. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But there's so much complication, like open and closing the strings. It's all muscle memory, and I just gave up on it. Really, went back to
Yeah,
drumming.
yeah. It's ridiculous, man. But what I've noticed is that if you can, because what they consider the fingers on the fret, I guess you
Mhm.
could say, is more about speed. But if you can take your thumb knuckle and pleasure your chick just as fast, you're fine.
Yeah.
like,
Or pack a
like
dip.
it gets the job done. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Or like a tin of dip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you say
But
pleasure your woman with your thumb knuckle?
well, yeah, I mean if you got to
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't have to do this. I can just do
Is it like
this.
this? You go in from the top, or
Well, it goes through the bottom and then through the top.
okay, yeah. I like to just grab them by the.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, nah, that's but I'm learning it I guess you could say the correct way to do it, which is it's so now I've been doing Christmas carols because
Yeah.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. It's fucking easy as fuck.
Right.
So and then you realize that same chord progression is the same as you know um any rock and roll song you ever do it's like up
It might
here
be the same as
down
blind.
there.
Even
It's the same shit, so fuck
I'm
it.
dreaming of a white Christmas. I can
Yeah.
see that I'm going blind.
Right, I can see. Yeah, exactly.
It's that chord. It's a chord progression of E, F, G, A, or something like that.
Yeah,
Boom, boom.
E A F G
Yeah,
and
that's it. Yeah,
then a minor somewhere in
right. That's like 6 million songs or something.
right. Yeah, you can play the fucking Temptations. You can play fucking, the Jackson 5. Doom,
Yep.
doom, doo, doo, doo. Yeah, fucking whatever. But yeah, I've been having fun with it,
That's good.
and it's easy when you drink a lot of, rum and Budweiser.
Yeah, it keeps
Fuck
you
it.
from getting dementia.
Yeah. And then you get to hear whatever you want to hear.
Yeah.
You're like, that sounds badass. You're not even on key. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fretless bass for that reason. You just do whatever. It sounds all right.
Right. Yeah.
What's your favorite Christmas album?
Favorite Christmas album? That's a good fucking question, bro. I I I couldn't say that I have one picked out. Um,
Johnny Winters, maybe Phil Spector, or
Johnny Winters is dope. I
yeah,
would go for, man, honestly, I'd go for Jackson 5.
really? I never.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I've heard some of their. Uh,
Because as
yeah,
weird as it sounds, doom 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 doom
yeah,
it's very complicated and I
yeah,
can't keep up,
right,
Yeah. I'll go with it. And plus I love Michael Jackson.
for
I
sure.
can't front. Yeah. Like my homeboy, he's also from Cleveland, hit me up. And he was like, all right, bro, what the fuck's the deal? He's like, either Prince or Michael Jackson. And I was like, fuck, man. I was like, Prince as a musician, because Prince fucking told, he did all of his musical shit on his own. He didn't sample
Yeah,
shit. But as an entertainer, Michael Jackson all the way.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I didn't respect Prince as much as I should when he was alive. I was too pretentious and gothic. But yeah, he was. But yet I respected Trent Reznor, who played
Yeah.
all the instruments and sampled Prince's drums on a lot of his tracks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't realize that he made all that music. You ever see him playing the bass to the Batman soundtrack in that one clip?
Yeah.
just tearing it up. Like, it's amazing.
Dude, the My Guitar Gently Weeps right before he
Yeah.
passed when
Hmm.
during the what was it? That was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Yep.
in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, he fucking killed it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He outshined Neil Young and all them, and
Dude,
Eddie.
all
Like,
of them, dude.
I think Slash was even there or something, and he just
Yeah.
took the limelight, as he should.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Prince was, and I think I said it on one of my shows with Monica. Um, that was one of those. Him and Tom Petty were one of those that really shocked the shit out of me that they died the way they died because of the drug thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never thought, well, Michael Jackson obviously never thought he died of. I know he went nutty, right? Don't get me wrong. When he's like, it's my baby, and I never held him over the edge of the. Yeah, I get it, but um, whenever they actually because those are kind of like the Hulk Hogan's of the 80s. You know what I mean? They're like, eat your vitamins, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. We're good guys, Mr. T,
Yeah.
And you never thought of them as being under the influences of, illegal substances or whatever.
Yeah.
So
It was like,
that,
it wasn't heroin per se, though, was it?
oh yeah, it's actually it's prescription heroin.
Yeah, prescription heroin. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the same fucking thing.
It is. But I think, honestly, Michael Jackson is either still alive, because you ever seen that clip of him getting out of the van?
Oh, I did a whole episode on that. Yeah,
it's nuts. And then, or he was killed because he was talking all that shit about Tommy, who's the record label executive.
So yeah. So what it really was is, and this is all just for non-educational purposes and
yes, entertainment purposes only.
Entertainment purposes only. Yeah. So they both were trying to get their what the fuck do you call it? Their ownerships for licensings over for their own songs.
Right.
So like that's why like Prince literally changed his name back in the Gap and went to the artist formerly known as Prince. Michael Jackson really couldn't do it because he was so big. Mm-hmm. So that's a cause for faking his own demise. Yeah, so there was multiples of those.
Yeah.
That they were just like, yeah, and if you actually think about it and you actually look at it, it goes back to the mid 90s when Master P actually came on deck.
Oh yeah.
And Master P was actually one of the first ones. And in the 60s, early 60s, Sam Cooke.
Okay.
Sam Cooke was taken out because he made a record label that the artists actually made their own money off of.
Yeah.
And made their own money. And then he was excommunicado.
Sure.
The Master P thing, the same way. If you look at a lot of rappers and ask them, especially Snoop Dogg, right? Yeah. he'll tell you no one was making money off
Yeah.
of being a rapper, you know, back in the gap because the record label owned all your shit.
Yeah.
And until they actually came around, you know, you didn't own shit and you weren't making shit off
Yeah.
your own shit, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. And and going back to the Michael Jackson, he owned all those songs, and he was about to buy Marvel and
Yeah.
make these Marvel movies, and
Yeah.
then he died.
And he owned all the Beatles. He owned the entire
Yeah.
Beatles catalog. He stole the Beatle catalog
Yeah.
when he was making music with Paul McCartney when they did the Just Say
Yep.
what you want, blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he was literally like snaking those ninjas underneath their worth
He was on
right
it.
on top of their, yeah.
He
Because he
owned
has
Happy
so much
Birthday.
fucking bread.
You can't sing Happy Birthday at TGI Fridays because Michael Jackson owned it. He owned elevator music and shit.
Yeah,
Every,
absolutely.
so yeah, they were after him for sure.
Yeah, and that's what Latoya was talking about
Right. That's
on
what's
Oprah Winfrey,
or it was
and
yeah.
yeah, and like I think like Whoopi shut her down. And she's
Yeah.
like,
The
"Shut the
View.
fuck up." Yeah, yeah, on the View.
Yeah, she said she was about to drop the name and Whoopi said or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we must have
exactly.
watched the same thing, but that's crazy. Um what happened to the other Jackson brothers? Like they didn't go on to do much. You know,
No,
why
they didn't do shit, dude. Yeah, they
drug
and
addicts or something or
nah. I mean, I remember when I was a kid. Uh, I remember when. So it was the Jacksons, the Jackson Five, right? And
right.
then they did the Jacksons after Michael came out with Off the Wall.
Okay.
And then they did the Jacksons, and that was when like he did like the glove, and it had like the spear, and it was like, and that was that one fucking song, and then they didn't do shit after that, like as far as Jacksons go. And then Michael Jackson did that one. I think it was like a VMA or some kind of shit where they brought them all back on, but he was so fucking toasted, like, uh, yeah, he wasn't even literally mentally there,
Yeah.
you know.
He didn't like sharing the stage with anybody else either. You know, he wanted all the
Well,
attention on him.
yeah, but I think what happened to him was okay. This is just my theory. This is a breezy theory, and everybody else can, you know, if y'all don't buy it, so be it. I don't care. Um, what happened is he was doing good, doing his thing, trying to be like high percussion, yeah, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
little kid type shit. And then that Pepsi commercial hit him,
Oh
and then
right.
he got burnt up on that Pepsi commercial,
Yep.
and it burnt his hair. After that, he got hooked on
Oops.
painkillers and shit.
Yeah.
So after all the painkillers, like then he just started getting slowly and slowly more. I'm going to use a 80s 90s term, retarded about shit.
Whoa.
And then, he was like, eventually, he's like, yeah, they're just children. They give me chair. It's my blanket. Blah blah blah. And you're like, that's not the Michael Jackson I knew back in the gap.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people say he died at that Pepsi commercial, and then the new Michael Jackson was a
There,
clone, and
there
that's why
is.
it was
Yeah.
all weird and shit and white. You know?
Yeah, there is. And there's a very big conspiracy about that.
Yep.
And that's why his coroner called him as being a 60-year-old white Caucasian male, bald, right? And
Yeah.
then having all this other weird stuff going on with it. And then the ambulance having the same license plate and then going to the same place and then having that dude come out in a sheet and going out,
Yep.
and why his coffin had no open coffin,
Hmm.
and then also being covered in concrete and put in a mausoleum.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so no one could ever dig him up.
His daughter just posted a picture of him, and then there's some weird video that I saw of like some interview with like a Michael Jackson type character where he's all depressed and he's saying, "What's going on in the world? Did you see that?"
Yeah, I did. I
That's
did.
creepy as fuck. Like, why would anybody make that?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason for it.
It's not even in any context of anything. It's just a depressed Michael Jackson cryptid type figure, skinwalker type thing, and
Right.
some guy like kind of like patronizing him, and it's weird. I don't get it. It's too weird to be fake.
Yeah, I don't buy that one for a minute.
Yeah.
You know, so if you take into aspect, right, there's only so many um that you actually start suspecting, right? Like, so we suspect Elvis, we suspect Jim Morrison,
Yeah.
we suspect Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
None of us suspect Prince
Right.
or, you know, or any of these other cats out of all the musicians that have passed away back in the gap.
Right.
Like, you know, I don't suspect many of them, but those are a few that I go, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here?
Yep.
You know, yeah.
Yeah, there's that Elvis guy who does that church, right?
Yeah, Bob Joyce. Yeah.
Bob Joyce. He sounds just like him.
Dude, he sounds like him. He has the same guitar. He has the same rings. He uh, does the same movements and shit. Yeah,
Right.
like, yeah. Bob Joyce is, and I brought that up on me and Monica were on, and she was like, "You mean this Kenny Loggins looking motherfucker?" You know, and I was like, "Yeah, I get it. You know,
Kenny Loggins. Kenny
yeah,
Loggins was no, you mean Kenny it's not Kenny Loggins, is it?
I don't
I
know,
know who you're
but
talking about.
yeah, but I was like, you know, because I take all of it with a grain of salt, so I don't give a shit too much about it.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You mean this motherfucker?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "They say that's fucking Elvis." And
Right.
she's like, "That's the crazy shit." And I'm like, "Yeah, it could be." You know,
Yeah.
there's that cat that um has the Morrison Ranch
Right.
in fucking California.
Hmm.
Looks just like Jim Morrison, and they can do the bzzz,
Yeah.
laser face shit,
Yeah.
and it's fucking, you know, face for face, his own face, whatever, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery around Jim Morrison and his dad and the Air Force base in California that Jared
Yeah,
Leto now owns and all that shit. That's a whole episode.
Yeah, but there's no, but in the same token, there's no ones that you're fucking not looking at. Like, no one goes, oh, I've seen Mama Cass eating
Yeah.
a fucking sandwich
Yeah.
in
Another
fucking
one.
San Francisco. You know, like,
Yeah. And like bot like
so
yeah, like
yeah.
right. Um yeah.
So I don't excommunicado the fact that those certains might be certains, but I'm not gonna fucking uh, exclude the ones that people, like we've had hundreds of them die,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like the 27 Club,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, okay, I can buy that Kurt Cobain or, you know,
Lane Stanley,
Lane Stanley,
Bradley.
yeah, or shit, I'm running a blank. The original, um, the blues dude, the original 27 Club. Um, Damn it, he was on the Ralph Macchio movie. Um, if y'all are in the chat, help me out.
Blues guy.
Yeah, he was the original 27 dude.
Oh, River Phoenix?
No, no, hang on.
Um,
I'll find him. Original blues dude, Delta Blues. Ralph Macchio's in the movie.
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. Um, I got his freaking CD like literally in the other room.
Jim Belushi?
No, Robert Johnson. There
Oh,
you
yeah, the guy that sold his soul, right?
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Wolfman. Blind Eye Willie, close enough, but yeah. But yeah, it's like the same thing. 27 Club. Okay. Take the 27 Club. All right, we started with Robert Johnson, and then we got Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin. We
John
got
Bonham.
right. Well, think about think about it on this level. Like, those are famous ass motherfuckers that we know about. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So you're gonna know their names, and you're gonna know when they fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many of us outside of being famous fucking die at the age of 27?
I died at 27, came back to life at
There
27.
you go.
That was
See? But I'm just saying,
yeah,
like, if you're not famous, no one knows when the fuck you died.
right.
So we could have 2 billion of us motherfuckers die since King Herod, or some ancient ass bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll never know any of them unless they're fucking famous to you,
Yeah.
right? So then you go, oh, musicians, oh, all died at 27. Well, think about all the motherfuckers in the Civil War that died at 27 years old.
Yeah.
Your dick can fucking find out.
Yeah. I'm sure we could find those stats. Maybe there's a big ratio of that, you know?
Yeah,
Some
absolutely.
fucker made a deal with some demon to take all these souls at 27 or something. Who knows?
Or it's just an average number that is only important because those are people that are important to you.
Right.
Like if I had homies, that were born on fucking January 1st, and I know 1,000 people, and 12 of them are born on January 1st, right? Then you got all the January 1st homies. Doesn't mean shit. It just means that 1,000 motherfuckers that you knew were born on January 1st. Right.
When were you born?
I'm October 27th,
Okay.
1978.
So you're a Scorpio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm November 12th. I'm a Scorpio as well.
Dope.
Yeah. It is the best sign, I think. But people hate on it.
Yeah.
If you
I
believe in
always
it.
got hate for it. Yeah. But I never gave a shit.
Dark,
I was
creepy
proud
fear.
of being a Scorpio.
I am too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I was always proud of it.
I forgot to mention that. I don't, not to keep talking about Michael Jackson, but then that burned up dude that came on the Larry King show. Remember?
Oh, the
What's his name?
Davies.
Davey Davies.
Davies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
dude.
weird too. Very weird.
Yeah, and it was so one of those gigs go is that after Thriller, Michael Jackson got really into the latex and becoming a different person type shit.
Yeah, during the Moonwalker movie.
Moonwalker movie, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's another weird one. But and then you get into with Michael, the fake fucking vocals, right? Because he's always supposed to be tired. Yeah, and then there's like audios where he's like, "Man, I thought those motherfuckers were never gonna leave."
Yeah. There's not enough of those audios. I look hard for those real voices. They're so rare.
Yeah, they're very few and far in between.
There's a good one where he's at some award show and he goes, "Can you hear me?" Like into the microphone.
Yeah.
But there's the interview with one of his friends when he talks about calling the Michael Jackson house, and Michael answers hello. And he goes, it's like his friend or something. But yeah, that is weird that he talked like that.
Well, and see, there's another fucking weird one where Tupac was talking shit because so like Tupac was he was dating what
it was Quincy
Jones's daughter, and he was like, "Yo, bitch, get the fuck on." She's like, "Fuck you, nigga," blah, blah, blah. And she was like, "Nah, fuck you." And he was like, "Hey, bitch." And then Michael Jackson was like, yo, motherfucker, like that's my fucking niece. You need to back the
Right.
fuck up and like busted
Beat
his
the
shit and
fuck
his
out
shit.
of
And dude was talking about how like uh he was talking about how, like Tupac loved to fight, but he couldn't fight, and
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. And you got to remember though, like Michael Jackson grew up in Gary, Indiana. You know, like if you go look up, like literally school back in Gary, Indiana, like Michael Jackson was a hood ass cat,
Yeah.
and he grew up with how many fucking brothers? You know what I'm saying? Like 6 brothers.
And he did a fight
So
Joe
like,
in his prime.
yeah, them ninjas knew how to like box it out between each other. Like
Just
you
look
need
at
to take a
that.
shit off your older brother, and
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah, I
like,
love that story. But that it's very believable now that what we know about Tupac too. You know, like he was a
dude, Pac,
fucking bitch.
I'll, you know, I'll piece it up with you straight up, 100%. Like Pac was what he was in the music world,
Yeah.
but you know, and I always talk this way back in the '90s,
Hmm.
like when they talked about Biggie and Pac, and it was like Pac, Biggie, Pac, Pac, blah blah blah. I'll tell it to you straight the same way I told it back then.
Yeah.
Um, Pac, that motherfucker went to Juilliard. You
Yeah.
know, he wasn't gangster. He wasn't gangster shit for shit.
Right.
You know, like Biggie, he grew up in, and granted, I'll grant this, he went to, or his mom was straight up Haitian, um, and was Biggie didn't live off of, you know, no shrimps and dishes and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
His mom raised him up right, and he was fairly wealthy. He might have sold drugs, he might have did his thing, but Pac wasn't no uh, hardcore ass gangster like he acted like he was.
No.
You know, when you look at Pac, like especially back before he passed, if you want to call it that,
Hmm.
like he was like neck rolling, like what, motherfucker, you know.
Yeah.
Dudes didn't do that back
No.
then. You know, like
No.
dudes did not do that back then.
No.
Like,
And
yeah,
wearing
nah,
wearing the the overalls and shit with the it's pretty looking back at it all now that we know what we know since the puffy thing, like with
yeah,
the girls in the videos and stuff, and
yeah, yeah,
that's all that
nah,
masculine music is out the window.
nah. Dudes didn't do that,
Dudes were
and
banging, uh, you know, he, she, delicious, all that.
right,
Oh, Cool J, and then
yeah, the Ella, yeah,
and then
lip licking Cool J,
yeah, I mean, he says he, she in the song, and then there's that trans person dancing around in the background, but we
yeah,
didn't know that then. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Yeah,
No, and same with Biggie on the bullshit. I'm
it's
not
the
gonna
same.
front.
It's the
I'm
same
not gonna.
woman.
And like when Biggie's talking about, oh, she's so slick, I want to suck her daddy's dick. You
Yeah,
know, and
I
I'm
forgot
like,
about that one. Jesus.
yeah. I'm like,
Yeah,
what the fucking actual fuck did
I don't
you just
know.
say, dog?
Yeah, fuck
Like,
him in the ass, throw him over the
yeah,
bridge. Like, what did you say?
yeah,
I just thought they were being edgy.
nah.
It's too edgy.
It was because now that I'm older, like, call me conspiracy or whatever the fuck you want to call me.
Yeah.
Now, what I really fucking feel about it is all that shit was started. And this sounds fucked up. And if y'all just wanted to log off, log off. I don't give a fuck. But that all started in the original 1988, 1987 grimy grime with NWA and all that bullshit. So that whole fucking thing was created by the government
Yeah.
to fucking send motherfuckers to the fucking penitentiary
Right.
and fucking gain fucking money for motherfuckers going to the penitentiary for the rest of their fucking lives.
Yeah, it supplemented their crack injections.
Crack injections, murder, fucking all the fucking whole 9 yards.
Like the
You
CIA
know, like,
crack into the ghettos and drop in abortion clinics and rap.
yeah,
It was
all of
full
it.
war.
All of it.
Mhm.
That is intended for you, and I fell for it. Don't get me wrong. I was a gangster. I'm still literally a crip and a fucking like I'm literally, holded by the government, but that's fucking really real. That's what they wanted you to do. They wanted you to act a fool. They wanted you to break laws. They wanted black and brown men and minorities to be sent into penitentiaries so the penitentiaries can make money off of you, so that they can have money off of you, and not just make money off of you, but make money off of you from making cassettes and tapes that literally make millions of dollars so that they can have potential pieces off of those too.
Yep.
Because it's like studio. Westfall, you know how studios work.
Mhm.
You go in there and you pay $85 an hour, blah, blah, blah. If you're in the penitentiary, your lawyer's going to make a significant amount. The penitentiary is going to make a significant amount. You're going to make a minimal amount.
Yep.
And then you got, this album made for me from the penitentiary.
Yeah. Right.
Nah, fuck them hoes. That's what they did.
Yeah.
It's slavery and progression.
Mm-hmm. Just like what Left Eye said of TLC, she said, we have the #1 selling album of all time, but we're dead.
Or broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they killed her.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much stuff is all correlating, and like looking back, like, all the pieces we didn't know what was missing from the cracks until now. And
Yeah.
I love that it's all coming together, but I hate it at the same time because it's like a Mandela effect. It's like kind of like ruining things almost. Like it's weird.
Yeah. Now I remember the first time I ever bought Lokes, and this is in 1988, maybe 89.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought Lokes because Lokes were supposedly bulletproof eyeglasses.
Okay.
Like, yeah, so you buy shades and they were Lokes, and they're supposedly bulletproof. And they weighed like a ton, like right here. They weighed a shoulder. But no, they weren't. And when I'm a kid, I go, fuck yeah. But when I get older, I'm like, what are the odds
Yeah.
of them hitting you right in the fucking eyeball?
Yeah.
You stupid asshole.
Yeah. Just because you're looking through them doesn't mean it's covering your whole body.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Morgan said it's going to be a house of cards falling. celebrities calling the Diddy trial, neighborhood gangs would break into them. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, I'm not gonna get on the giddy thing. Uh, to me, that's oh shit, man. I wouldn't even begin to start on it.
Oh, you mean yeah, you can't, we can't
Yeah,
say that?
no, that to me that goes into
Yeah,
God and yeah, that goes into like
that goes into reptilian. I'm sorry.
yeah, exactly. There you go.
And that goes down a whole rabbit hole. Yep.
Yeah. No, those cats, the Pizza Gates, the Lintons, and
The
I won't
Jigga,
say it. Yeah.
the Jigga, and then beyond.
Yeah.
You
Nah.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, just we've already that we summed it up there with just our little grunts there. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know, you know. You know.
Yeah. If you don't know, now you know.
Oh God, yeah, it's everywhere. That's
Yeah.
if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, we know. We know. We get it. Yeah,
So I
that's
got like 3 minutes, man.
yeah.
I'm gonna roll you off and kill my own stream.
I got you,
But
man.
let everybody know exactly what you're doing
Yes.
and promote what you got.
My books will be on Google Books. You can look them up on the Play Store. On
I'm
YouTube.
gonna go pee while you're doing it.
Yeah, go ahead. On YouTube, it's Joe Westfall, and on SoundCloud, it's Westfall. Just look for the guy in the gas mask, and then I also there's a poll on Facebook. I don't know if I could post this in the chat or something, but if you could vote for me on Facebook to play this show in my hometown, I'd appreciate it. I'll post a link to my Facebook, Joe Westfall. But yeah, buy all the things, right? So I too could become uh, a clone or something. Maybe that's not the goal. um, but yeah, if you like drum and bass and electronic music and kind of darker, heavier themes, and there's also lighter themes tracks on there too. I mean, it's a little something for everybody. A lot of it's just kind of on the SoundCloud is just kind of experimenting and stuff, but maybe you'll find inspiration in it. I don't know. I've just been creating everything really. I just have been on a kick past few years and making music videos and all that. So I made an intro track for Breezy and Tim's show. It's on SoundCloud. It's very kind of, I don't know, you just got to listen to it. It's got a lot of samples in it of people speaking. What else is there? I don't know. Hit me up. Hit me up. If you want me to come play your party or something, I'll do it. I'll drive down. I don't care where it's at. You can pay me nothing. I'll still do it. I just want to play live, get my music out there, and just get my art out there. I appreciate you having me on here, Breezy. You've always been a supporter, and I love that. I love bouncing ideas off of you. I look to you for, if something sucks or not sometimes, and because you got good taste in music, always have, and you're a talent that can't be reckoned with when it comes to your rapping. I love it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't feel the same way, but
I like it a lot. Like if you have acapellas, send them to me, and I'll do something with them, or I'll just extract them myself. But you're gonna get remixed one way or another. I've always said that.
Yeah, now I'm about it. So on my actual bullshit, this computer, I only keep it just strictly for the fucking live stream shit,
Yeah.
and I very rarely add any other external shit to it. But
You use Acid though, right?
Acid Pro 3.0.
I found I'll send. I have a link for that for free if you want it. If you don't have it anymore.
That might be dope. So yeah, I use Acid 6.0 for my beats,
Mm-hmm.
and then 3.0 for my vocals.
Yeah, I'll send it over.
Because yeah. But anyway, yeah, I'm down to send you any files that I got.
Mm-hmm.
I have no fucking qualms about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I got any pieces you got that you actually want to fuck with, you're free to play with all of them.
Thank you. I like the horror tracks ideas that we were bouncing off of a while back. We should get back on that on a personal level. But thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it. I love talking with you as always. You're very knowledgeable. You're. I mean, there's very few people I could just say a few words to. They know exactly what I'm talking about, and you're probably at the top of that chart, honestly. And hopefully, we meet in person one day. But I mean, it's weird that I feel close to you, but this is the only way we've communicated. This is our relationship, like this. It's funny.
Yeah.
Like, what a world. But thank you again for having me on. I appreciate it.
Well, shit, man. Actually, I'm probably gonna be coming up to Cleveland as soon as the fucking snow bullshit blows over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, probably about springish.
Well, hit me up. I'm around.
I'll be up there in Cleveland, Ohio, kicking it, and hanging out for maybe about 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so we're gonna be coming and kicking it.
Yeah.
The dude that owns the glass houses,
Okay.
Roy Rose, yeah, he
Yeah.
owns all the glass houses up there.
He's a nice guy. I've met him before.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll come kick it and have fucking yeah.
Yeah.
Go get toasted and kick it for sure.
For sure, man. I got plenty of room here. You could stay here if you want. It's up to you.
Dope, dude. Because I probably will.
Yeah. Whole room you could live in it.
I snore like a bitch. I'm not
Oh,
gonna lie.
I don't think anybody snores as loud as me. We'll we'll register on the Richter scale together here. Probably.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And if you see Tim, tell him I love him, man. I was gonna have him on, but dude, his fucking people are just. Wait a minute. I've been to the Franklin Castle in Cleveland. Morgan, I have never been to the Franklin Castle, but I know more about it than most Cleveland people know.
I don't even know. I've never even heard of it.
What? Oh, dude. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
So there's a whole Franklin Castle, and I'm drunk, so the Franklin Castle, it's on the same block as a bunch of colonial castles that stay on the same neighborhood. A lot of them are haunted. But the Franklin, it's there's a chicken white girl in white that hangs out on the first floor. Um, there's a voice on the second floor. I know a shite load about it,
It's probably
but
some,
I've never been. But I know more about it than most people know that live in Cleveland.
yeah, I didn't know there's a block of castles, haunted castles in Cleveland.
Well, they're not castles. They just call them castles, but they're like two-story Victorian houses that
Okay, yeah,
are all on the same. Yeah, they're on the same block, and there's a ton of them. But the Franklin House is, I think it used to be back in the 1870s. It was like a mortuary. So yeah, in the basement of it. Yeah.
I've DJ'd at the House of Wills, which is a haunted mortuary, abandoned mortuary. It might be on the same, might be around there.
Probably on the same street.
Yeah,
I'll get with you on the same street, but yeah, there's this one whole street that runs a bunch of it, and then when you get into one of the most haunted parts of Cleveland, it is towards the um, towards the Erie uh, towards the Erie Lake parts
yeah,
where all the salt mines were corroborated.
right.
And yeah, that's very 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 spooky. This
Yeah,
is a lot of
I've been
dark.
in those. It's
Yeah,
not fun. It's
yeah,
definitely haunted. Yeah,
yeah,
there's Cleveland's haunted for sure, but that's a whole episode.
yeah. Dude, I was gonna get you, and I got a homeboy from Yorktown, and another dude from Cleveland, and another dude from starts with a D, Dyer Town, or no, it's not Dyer Town. Shit, I forgot. Uh, shit. But anyway,
Mhm.
I was gonna get all y'all to do a whole Cleveland freaking spooky
Ghost hunter
haunt.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of do like one of those things, yeah.
I'll do it, I guess. I'm scared.
And then I got those cats going. I was like, hey, y'all want to go to the serpent mounds and the mounds? And they're like, nah, I'm not going to
Yeah.
fucking any serpent mounds or mounds. And I'm like, no, go to serpent mounds. Come on, let's fucking
Well, the
roll.
thing is, like, we all live probably on mounds up here in Cleveland because there's thousands of
Yeah,
them. They're all
yeah,
bulldozed. I mean, I could be sitting on a mound right now and not even knowing it. But I
yeah,
think that's
exactly.
definitely
You
where a
are.
lot of the haunted shit comes from. The
Yeah, yeah.
Mound Street is a street because
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Mount Street. Yeah,
they just
you're
decimated the bones there and the spirits and with a bulldozer. It's fucked up.
yeah, you're on a fucking mound, and they're Nephilim mounds
Yep.
of giants. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Well,
All right.
go ahead and give out your sign out, man, and I'll give my sign out, and we'll roll out.
Just stay vigilant and love one another and stay connected and informed and help out your brother, help out your neighbor, and just follow in the paths of the Lord, and you'll be all right. I think we'll be okay. If you make it
Amen.
through this time, you have the option of living for 500 years or not. I'm sure. We're gonna get there soon. That's up to you, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I thank you for having you on.
Yes.
One love to everybody. God bless to each and every one of y'all. And keep searching for the truth because it's out there. Eventually, we'll find it. And, Yeshua HaMashiach will guide you to it regardless. And in that note, we thank you for having a good chat.